Missiles fell, Tehran burned, leaders vanished. Mojtaba Khamenei survived, but injured, hidden and absent from public view since the strike. No proof of life, no clear authority. So is Iran being led by a man recovering in silence or by something else entirely? The night the US waged its war on Iran, Tehran burned. Its sky roared as the missiles poured like rain. And fire swallowed everything, even Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. No one was expected to survive. Khamenei's entire family was wiped out. But one man escaped that night, and that was Mojtaba Khamenei. According to Reuters, Khamenei's face was disfigured in the attack on the Supreme Leader's compound in central Tehran, and he suffered a significant injury to one or both legs. Sources claimed he might have lost a leg. The 56-year-old is nonetheless recovering from his wounds and remains mentally sharp, according to sources. He is taking part in meetings with senior officials via audio conferencing and is engaged in decision-making on major issues, including the war and negotiations with Washington. Questions mount whether Khamenei's health is sufficient to run the state comes at a moment of extreme peril for Iran, one of the most dangerous periods in decades, as high-stakes peace talks with the United States open in Islamabad on Saturday. The most detailed picture of his condition in weeks has emerged only through accounts from people close to his inner circle. Khamenei's whereabouts, condition and ability to rule still largely remain a mystery to the public, with no photo, video or audio recording of him published since the air attack and his subsequent appointment as his father's replacement on March 8th. Iran's mission to the United Nations has not responded to questions about the extent of Khamenei's injuries or why he has not appeared in any images or recordings since. Mojtaba Khamenei also lost close family members in the strike, including his wife, brother-in-law and sister-in-law. There has been no official statement on the severity of his injuries. However, state television later referred to him as a janbaz, a term used for those severely wounded in war shortly after his appointment as Supreme Leader. The accounts of Khamenei's injuries align with remarks made by US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth on March 13, when he said Khamenei was wounded and likely disfigured. Alex Vatanka, a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute, said that regardless of the severity of his injuries, the new leader is unlikely to command the same authority as his father.
Mojtaba will be one voice, but it will not be the decisive one. He needs to prove himself as the credible, powerful, overriding voice. The regime as a whole has to make a decision in terms of where they are going to go.
One of the people close to Khamenei's circle told Reuters that images of the Supreme Leader could be expected to be released within 1 or 2 months, and that he might even appear in public then, although all three sources stressed he would only emerge when his health and the security situation allowed. Khamenei's absence is widely discussed on Iranian social media and in messaging app groups when the country's patchy internet allows, with conspiracy theories widespread about his condition and who is running the country. One popular meme circulating online is a picture of an empty chair under a spotlight with the slogan, "Where is Mojtaba?" However, some government supporters, including a senior member of the Basij, said that it was important for Khamenei to keep a low profile, given the threat posed by waves of US and Israeli airstrikes that have already wiped out much of the country's leadership.
Why should he appear in public? To become a target for these criminals?
In the end, the truth inside Tehran remains layered in silence. A leader unseen, a country divided between rumor and reality, and a war that reshaped not only borders, but the very structure of power itself. A video circulating on the internet claims to show Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, walking into a war command center with the coordinates of Israel's Dimona nuclear site visible on a screen behind him. The clip ends with a message. The news is yet to come. It spread fast across X, with multiple accounts presenting it as the first confirmed sighting of Iran's new Supreme Leader since his appointment. The reason it gained traction is straightforward. Mojtaba Khamenei has not been seen in public since succeeding his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in joint US-Israeli strikes on February 28th. More than 3 weeks have passed, and the silence has fed a steady stream of rumors, including claims that he lost a leg, that he is critically wounded, and that he traveled to Russia for medical treatment. Russia pushed back on those reports. On March 31st, Russia's ambassador to Iran, Alexei Dedov, addressed the speculation directly.
As the Iranian leadership has stated repeatedly, the new leader is in Iran, but for obvious reasons he is refraining from appearing in public.
But the video was not what it claimed to be. No verified Iranian state account, not IRIB, not the IRGC's official channels, not Khamenei, posted or confirmed the footage. It originated from an unverified X account and was quickly identified by multiple outlets as AI-generated propaganda. Mojtaba's last known communication was April 1st, a series of posts on X vowing to continue resistance against what he called the Zionist US enemy. Iran's state broadcaster did release footage showing him teaching religious sciences to pupils, though when exactly it was recorded was never disclosed. For now, Iran's new supreme leader remains a voice without a face, and in a war already thick with disinformation, that absence is a story in itself. Israel's military said it had carried out a series of high-impact strikes deep inside Iran, targeting both military leadership and logistical infrastructure, in what appears to be a sustained campaign to weaken Tehran's missile capabilities. The IDF claimed it had eliminated Makram Atimi, a commander of a central Iranian ballistic missile unit, in a precision airstrike near Kermanshah on April 2nd. According to the Israeli military, Atimi was directly responsible for dozens of missile launches targeting Israel in recent weeks.
The commander of the Iranian terror regime's ballistic missile unit in the Kermanshah area, Atimi was responsible for the unit's operations in the Kermanshah region in western Iran and carried out dozens of ballistic missile launches toward Israel.
Several battalion commanders from the same unit were also killed. The IDF said the unit had been behind repeated missile launches from northwestern Iran. Israeli officials described these strikes as part of a broader effort to dismantle Iran's command structure and degrade its offensive capabilities. In another significant development, the IDF said it had earlier killed Jamshid Eshaki, a senior figure overseeing the Iranian Armed Forces oil headquarters. Israel claims this division plays a critical role in financing Iran's military and regional proxy networks. According to the IDF, oil revenues routed through this structure have long funded missile production and groups such as Hezbollah and the Houthis.
Eshaki led the financial arm of the regime's forces and oversaw military industries responsible for producing ballistic missiles. Additionally, he worked to allocate funds to finance Iran's terror proxies across the Middle East.
Meanwhile, the conflict is widening beyond Israeli operations. A US airstrike reportedly targeted a key highway bridge linking Tehran to Karaj, a critical route believed to be used for transporting missile and drone components. Sources familiar with the operation said the aim was to disrupt a central supply artery sustaining Iran's military operations. Iran has strongly condemned the attack. Military spokesperson Abul Fazl Shekarchi insisted such strikes would not weaken the country's resolve.
Striking civilian structures, including unfinished bridges, will not compel Iranians to surrender. Every bridge and building will be rebuilt stronger.
Iranian state media reported that the bridge strike killed 8 people and injured 95. Despite these targeted strikes, new US intelligence assessments suggest Iran's military capabilities remain far from neutralized.
They are still very much poised to wreak absolute havoc in the region.
Officials say roughly half of Iran's missile launchers are still intact, along with thousands of one-way attack drones. A large portion of its coastal defense cruise missiles also remains operational, maintaining Iran's ability to threaten shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz. This paints a more complex picture than the one presented publicly by Donald Trump, who claimed Iran's capabilities had been significantly reduced. As the conflict enters its 6th week, the gap between battlefield realities and political messaging is becoming increasingly stark, raising fresh questions about how far this escalation could go.